Yes.
We're kind of in a holding pattern here, dare I say, bad pun intended, after yesterday's Burbank incident.
Yeah, what happened there?
I don't know. Plane drops 427 feet. People get a little wacky.
Did you mention that one?
No control to the tower. Ground control to Major Tom.
Well, maybe it has something to do with all the DEI hires they made.
Yeah, we're gonna. Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Leading off with that, folks.
That was a comment from a friend of ours.
We're at episode 27. We're going to call this one Cookies with the Coordinator. In this week's podcast, we're going to do some bar news and hospitality about Las Vegas and some other places. Some airline stuff that we've already kind of alluded to.
Mm-hmm.
Beyonce, Queen Bee.
Queen Bee.
The Carter family, or all the many nicknames she has, at Allegiant tonight. I'm much anticipation about that. Some sports talk, something I know you love so much.
I mean, I have my moments.
Yeah.
I enjoy sports with friends. I don't just sit and watch it alone. I like to go to the games, and I like to watch them with friends,
Yeah, the rule of three, I think, has doubled this week with some celebrity deaths and music and rock stars and wrestlers.
Wow, yeah, and it really hit Gen X hard.
Yeah. And then,
I almost said Gen Z, but I'm old.
We're going to wrap up with some TV talk. So we're going to talk the latest episodes of Cheers as we, again, advance toward the end of season 1. And then we're going to throw a little whodunit in with Kiddis on the ground down there.
Yep.
But also Ted Lasso, quickly.
Yeah.
So episode 27, let's get ready to rumble.
Let's do this.
The sun is up, time to embark. Forget the rules, we'll make a mark. From bar to bar, the world's our stage. With Darren and Chris, we're turning the page.
Go.
And we are back. Vegas Day Drinkers episode 27. We're cleaning out some inventory here, so we're circling around with the garage beer.
Let's do this.
Did you see that the brothers Kelsey had on Adam Sandler again yesterday? So,
speaking of Adam Sandler, Happy Gilmore too.
Yeah, and then
came out
exactly,
yesterday, right?
Yeah, exactly why he was back on. What the hell's the name of their podcast? It just dropped me. So
I don't listen to it. It's the level, the house,
It'll come back. It'll come back around. Maybe we'll fix that in post. Have you watched? I mean, you've been on a Superman kick.
I watched the new Fantastic Four. Yes.
Yeah, I heard that was fantastic. Pun intended.
This guy. Very much in line with the comics. I thought it was excellent. But
gotcha. And then have you checked out the new Happy Gilmore?
I have not. I actually don't have Netflix. I have a Plex account that my buddy loads up, and I don't think it's on there yet. So again, like same with sports. I don't like watching comedies by myself because I just kind of, I just sit there and I like to laugh with friends and I like to cheer with friends. It's more impactful that way.
When you guys are watching this, because I can't think of it at the moment because I sat in the sauna for too long last night, what is the name of the Kelsey Brothers podcast? Respond and comment on TikTok, YouTube, or all those other channels you subscribe to.
It's called like The Level or something like that. Or
but yeah, before we get into the body of our outline here, speaking of TikTok, we were just talking about this before we started recording.
Yes.
My lament as we talk about, so I think the world, certainly traditional media and TikTok influencers are all browbeating Vegas right now with the percentages demise.
Yeah, I think, I think the internet has like this effect of, I call it the pylon effect.
Okay.
A couple of people say something negative and then they get a bunch of likes for it. And so people pile on, and then next thing you know, like the internet's all about the outrage. And, it's people pushing against people, and that's exactly what social media does. It gets people riled up against people. And
this beer is damn cold.
I know.
I haven't even drank any yet, but it's just to the touch.
It's an excellent beer, by the way.
It is. Yeah.
Those guys that have that podcast, we don't remember the names, do a bang up job on beer.
Very palatable. If the Kelsey brothers want to have us on anytime soon, just reach out to Benji Yoda or whatever your email
Jedi
is.
Knight Benji.
Yes.
It's funny. I had some Gen Zers be like, "Whoa, how'd you get that email?" And I'm like, "I'm just that old, guys."
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I talked about this offline too. Not necessarily do I think that Vegas was better than when the Mafia ran it, and of course, every generation as we go on, time, distance changes all things. Do I think that buffet breakfast is going to be $2.99 anymore? No. Do I think a bottle of Budweiser is going to be 50 cents? No. Although those would both be nice. But we talk about this passively quite often. Things, they have just exacerbated some of the cost structures on the Strip and Fremont Street in Las Vegas as a whole.
So let's take a little deeper dive into these things. Can we go by bullet points here?
Sure.
So like when you talk about things like cost, obviously the cost of goods has gone up, and we've talked about this before on the podcast. The Disneyfication of everything, where every department has to make money. Back in the old days of Vegas, when the mafia ran it, when the heyday, so to say, like the boomers and the Gen Zers like to say, there was no data. There was no data sets. If they got any data at all, it was like a handwritten note, and that's how they kind of did their thing. But then it was just bookkeepers, so it was just gambling. And nowadays we have cell phones and apps, and we freely give all our information to these companies, and they can set these parameters just because they get all this data and they know exactly what's going on. I was just reading that article you told me to read in the weekly, and they broke it down to how much per person they spend and where they spend it.
Yeah,
which is crazy. And that's why you see the things you do now, I believe, is that because they have all this data, they know exactly where people are spending the money. They know exactly what they're doing. They know where the gaming revenues are. They know everything. And not to mention they have to make a profit in every aspect of Vegas nowadays.
And as we talk bullet points, and dare I encroach upon, us being the old guys on the porch or the lawn or whatever the phrase is, it's like...
I try not to let the old man in, but it creeps in every once in a while, I try to be young.
I've said before this became a popular subject to talk about, most recently this year, and as the world kind of changes and gets kooky and evolves and we have all these other things going on, but it's like, one of my phrases has always been, sometimes you have to read between the lines of the spreadsheet, and I don't think some of these major corporations are doing that. And as they kind of like, well, we don't want to hedge too much, right? Because you see certain, some of the other Vegas influencers, are talking about how Resorts World have, waived their parking fees for summer, and Plaza did like an inclusive package, and it's kind of like they're treading on the line of like maybe
there's people that are willing to like that maybe like I would see ones that don't have shareholders like that are owners like Derek Stevens. He doesn't have shareholders, I don't believe.
I don't think so.
He's a private owner, so he's willing to take these risks and these gambles because he can reap the rewards. When you have shareholders and stockholders and the board and everybody else to answer to, and they want their cut, they're less likely to take risks because then they have to go back to their investors and be like, oh, well, we didn't earn as much money because we lost money at this.
Yeah.
And again, that's all part of bean counters and corporations. And we talk privately about private equity and the disadvantages of that.
And we've also talked about how, you've said it before, that one TikTok video I did kind of got some virality to it. And most of the comments were bring back the mafia, this and that, so forth and so on.
We'll go ahead and finish your thought.
But a lot of people also talked about just regionality now. And you've talked about this, about going to see your dad up in Washington State, that, some of these local casinos, these Indian tribes, and be it otherwise, they're just as nice as Vegas casinos. Their ratios aren't as tight. Their comp policies are more generous.
They don't comp anything. You have to pay. No,
really?
Vegas is unique in that sense that you still get free drinks, and I'm sure if Vegas could, they will take that away. And you see it, a couple spots like Wynn does it now, and there's another place that does it now as well.
Wynn does it, right? But it goes back and like you just put it on your account, right? And then your host looks at it, and then they kind of comp it off at the end. So
yeah, but still, it's a step.
Yeah.
And they want to go that route because that's more revenue for them. I do believe, I do believe that I believe that the Indian reservations, they will own Vegas within 20 to 30 years.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it. They have these beautiful casinos. I've been to the Hard Rock up in Sacramento, which rivals any Las Vegas casino. It's beautiful in there. It's smaller, but it looks just like a Vegas casino. Up in Seattle, the Muckleshoots, they have their casinos offering premium experiences. They have a hotel, they have a steakhouse on the roof with views of Mount Rainier. They're building an amphitheater. They're going to have, like Abe. They already have a lot of great musical guests and comedy acts, but
Well, and I mean the tribe that now owns the Palms. I mean, seemingly the Palms is doing just fine. I mean, I'm sure it's not just fine, but they're maintaining and growing. And then obviously
Seminoles bought the Hard Rock,
the Hard Rock. So the Mirage. So that's a couple years from opening out. But they're what is it, $3 or $4 billion they're putting into that?
Yeah,
So.
and I think the Strip. I think MGM's probably pretty nervous about that because they're like looking at that and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
and I think it's going to shift some of the people down to the middle of the Strip again.
well,
to make that a more active area.
As I was just printing off our talking points for this week's one before I came over today, like I saw a little blurb on YouTube about who might be the forerunner now and being on the team that brings the NBA. So it seems with them breaking ground seemingly on whatever the baseball team we're going to get here will be, most likely the A's, but maybe we have, an 11th hour entry. It seems like wherever they put that future NBA arena, because it's not going to be an if, just when. They
keep speculating that they're going to put it down by Fontainebleau, next door to Fontainebleau.
I mean, because obviously that will revitalize that part because the north end of.
Well, what do you want? 25, 30,000 people. Well, 18,000 in an NBA arena.
I would imagine 18 to 22.
Yeah, you want that many people walking around your casino at the end of the game. So
yeah, and even though the Tropicana project now is fundamentally completed, you can't just keep doubling down, pun intended, on that intersection.
Yeah.
Let's make Flamingo fun.
Yeah, so, why not?
But yeah, I mean that's some of the talk. So we kind of publish out there across a few social mediums, and as much as we love it in certain instances, we kind of hate it some other times. But that's the necessary evil.
I do agree with you though, like in some aspects of like they've priced out people.
Yeah.
We talk about that.
And I was thinking about this, and you were being positive about me about that little post I made. Is like, it's kind of like the mindfulness too. Like, if you want to just be egalitarian and you just want all the uber wealthy or the high net worth individuals, obviously there's more of those than ever before in the history of humanity, right? Yeah. But at the same time is, when we were kids in the 80s and we were like first really getting knowing these like European brands, these Mercedes, these BMWs, these luxury European vehicles, and all we're really seeing is their top tier, like the S classes or the 7 Series or whatever. And like, you're like, I never can afford that, whatever. Yeah. And then the bean counters at those companies discovered like, wait, there's a lot more people out there that like our brand and these different price points. So then you see not the S class, you see the E class and then the C class because everybody wants to have that logo, right? And it seems like to me, Vegas has kind of flipped that. They got everybody in early with cheap drinks, good times, free rooms, this and that. And then it's like now like we just want to alienate all those folks and we just want the people that,
It's like anything, like people age out. So you're going to cater to a new generation.
Sure, but then you have a new generation that are living with their mom and dad because they can't afford things.
But then they can afford to go to Vegas because they're not paying rent.
This is true. Yeah. I mean,
see what I'm saying?
What do you guys think about that?
The other thing about the mob, I'd like to say, what does that say about our society where you openly prefer the mob to a corporation? You know what I'm saying? And when we talk about PE and private equity, people hate these corporations and private equity. Are they maybe the new mob? Should we be looking out for those guys?
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Yeah, hairy mafioso. All right, let's jump off that for a second.
Sure.
So we're in between weeks here. We're doing this on a Saturday, which we haven't not done before. But you're getting ready to travel again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get this one in. It might be a little more chewy, if you will, like. A little more breath to it. Maybe take it up to about an hour. We'll see.
If you need the dough too much, it makes gluten, and then it makes everything a little more chewy.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah. So watch out for gluten, people.
That's your dietary moment with Darren today on Vegas Day Drinkers.
Hey, it ties in with the sandwich thing last week.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to play 4D chess here.
Yeah. Let's talk some bar and hospitality news. Just very quickly. We went to a couple old haunts again, so nothing like new and ordinary. I will talk about that. The wife and I survey, like she's a big daytime pool person and wasn't really planning it midweek, but we slipped down to Rio.
Yeah.
Rio's going through $400 million renovation, and you're starting to see inside. It's not the old Rio, so
I love
walking through there.
I love the exterior, the new lighting
Yeah,
I
walking
went to
through
it.
there, the new food hall looks nice. They have a Tony Luke's, which is a staple in the Philadelphia culture.
It's the Philly cheesesteak place, right?
Yeah.
I had one last year. It was good.
And then the main casino floor looks nice. Now, I think we've talked about this before, and you said it was only momentary, but the Empire Strikes Back burlesque
Empire
show
strips back.
Yes. You said it was only temporary, right?
I thought it was too, but they brought it in.
I think, yeah. So that might be something to check
Smart
out.
move, because I don't know if anybody's ever. I'm kind of a Trekkie, but there's a big Star Trek convention coming next 2 weeks from now. And I mean, and that's not for nothing. I mean, I think it brings in 30 to 40,000 people, which is nothing.
And that's why we're standing behind the bar tub, because you can't see the swing.
Swing.
But no, with your player's card, just a player's card, which is free to get. As a local, I guess you have to be a local. You can enter the pool free, and the pool to me was just fine.
Yeah,
we went on a Thursday. Now I've talked to a couple people about this too. We are in late July, and seemingly so far that this summer hasn't been horrible with temperature. I mean, it was 98 out.
We still got August, buddy.
Don't talk about it. So if you say the devil's name, guess who appears?
Yes, I do.
I know, and that's why. But
speaking of the devil, did you see South Park this week?
I've never really watched South Park.
I haven't watched an episode in 20 years, but I watched this week's episode. And oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Well, we'll just leave it at that.
El Diablo.
Yes.
But 98 degrees, perfect weather. Staff was attentive. I mean, we could have gone the day bed option or the cabana, but we're just really in it for a couple hours. The waterfall. I mean, if you're not sturdy, you can take a layer of skin off. But
nice.
It was fun, and just to get out of your own head for a couple hours, which I guess was what pools are supposed to do, right?
That's what they do.
Now, for the free entry, I will offset the $65 in cost for the 2 drinks that we had.
I was just going to ask, were the drinks $30 a piece?
They were, but it was a collectible cup. Not that I'm marketing for Rio, but I mean, I
was just going to say, this episode brought to you by Rio.
Right. So,
Pool and Day Club.
Yeah, the girl from Ipanema. So, but it's
don't make me dance.
I don't know if it's. I mean, it should be. It's like a plastic acrylic cup, so I think you would be able to take it back in and knock off a whole $3 next time for a lower discounted price.
Telling you, they're really knowing how to sell it there.
Yeah.
$27 for a drink.
However, in what was supposed to be my fresh lime squeeze margarita, I will tell you that the bartender, I saw no bit of fresh lime squeeze go into it.
You know what I would do with that cup? I would fill it up with booze and bring it back and order a Coke. That's what I would do. I'm just saying.
There we go.
Just saying.
But that was a fun, like, little quick 2-hour escapism on a Thursday in late July. A place that I used to serve a lot of people from that worked there when it first opened, and when I worked at Steiner's, is suddenly Blue Martini announced last Thursday that they were closing their Town Square location after 18 years.
Where are the old Cougars going to go to pick up on, Latin guys?
Apparently, the front space of Planet Hollywood, where Urban Outfitters used to be. So they're going to open up a 3-level Blue Martini later in fall.
Blue Martini, that's a terrible, terrible move. I'm sorry.
I'm not on their planning commission. I'm not in their corporate structure. I mean,
that thing has been so many different things that it's never. Well, I mean, I won't say never, but
it's been Blue Martini for 18 years. Or are you talking about Planet Hollywood?
Planet Hollywood, yeah, yeah. Everything in that part of Town Square has failed. Everything except for Blue Martini.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think I saw Mailman make a comment on a post, but I mean, again, it's a high lease. Your foot traffic's only so much. I mean, you have your outliers like Blue Martini and Yard House that have been staples there since 2008, 2009.
I haven't been in there forever, but man, that place was like Cougars and Latinos.
Blue Martini?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When it opened, I mean, that was the hottest spot in Vegas. Bar none.
Oh, my God.
Take anything on the Strip, nothing. Fremont Street, nothing. For a moment in time, that place was, I think, especially on Wednesday night, was ladies' night.
So where are the Cougars going to go now? Because they're not going to pay $20 to park at Planet Hollywood to go to Blue Martini.
Not our problem, my friend. I mean,
but I'm just saying that's why I think it's such a terrible idea for the company.
Yeah.
So. And
then I just read that Hogs and Heifers that was downtown, that they did not renew their lease because apparently they wanted to raise the lease so much. Has now found a new home on Main Street, so somewhere in the Arts District, to be determined.
Which that will be like they'll probably get out leased there in about 5 years. You see all the condos and stuff they're building down there?
Yeah. Again,
Arts District is cool right now, but they're literally building 1,000 apartments down there. It's going to be overrun and it's going to be ridiculous within 2 years, I think.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
They're
But
going to ruin that.
And, we were down, when we went down to Jive Turkey a couple of weeks ago, but a week before that, I saw Rose and Andrew from the Silver Stamp, and there's just more and more bars and different concepts.
Here's an idea for you. Sorry, let me finish. You go ahead and finish your thought.
Oh, just more and more bars and stuff, other venues coming in for like a moment in time. There's a couple of years of a sweet spot. There was 2 or 3, like at Abel Baker.
So they're going to ruin the arts district within probably 2 to 3 years, I imagine.
Why do you say that, sir?
Well, just because all the apartments down there. So it's going to be so busy. And then you're going to have the leases skyrocket and all these great places are going to move out because they're going to lose their deals.
Yeah.
So hear me out. What do you think about this? Remember when Boulder Highway, it's shit. That whole section in between Las Vegas Boulevard and, say, Desert Inn.
Okay.
It's fucking garbage there. So that I'm going to say it now. I'm going to say that's going to be the next big spot.
There he is.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Darren Benjamin, futurist.
I think we should open a bar like there's a really, really crappy bar right there. I can't remember the name of it. Well, there's the one you and Savay went to a couple months ago, the Old Vegas.
Oh, Old Vegas Lounge.
Old Vegas Lounge, which is on Desert Inn. But if you go down Boulder on the left-hand side, there's a couple of really crappy old bars right there.
Yeah.
That would just scream, hey.
Well, and you and I have talked about when we went to pick up this back in springtime, I mean, there's obviously a big push for a lot of people to move Prompt too. I mean, Prompt might have some offerings also where it's like, the value proposition. But some of these places, I get it. If you're a new operator, business entrepreneur, you might be skeptical about signing a longer term lease, because if you do just a 5-year or maybe even a 10-year lease, and then something gets hot, and then somebody's like, okay, well,
could you imagine if they built like let's say just for instance, let's say Elon Musk built a tunnel. What's it called? The Loop.
Yep.
Imagine if somebody built a loop from Pahrump to Las Vegas. Because house prices are getting pretty expensive here, and if somebody made a major investment in Pahrump and built let's say a town square-ish kind of thing and attracted a whole bunch of developers, and you had a loop.
Yep.
Right there.
Not a bad idea.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Elon, let's get on it. Even though I don't want to say his name out loud because that's controversial in itself.
So then, right next to Stray Pirate downtown, also Chris Gutierrez and his crew, who was previously at Corduroy, Oak and Ivy, and Atomic, has opened a new concept called Prowl, which I think has more of a theme to it. Also, we have not been in there yet. I have not been in there. You've not been in there, but
is that co-owned by the who?
No co-owner than I know.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, if there's an investor, I'm not sure. On a bigger note too, did you see that one of Las Vegas's favorite first stops when you land at Harry Reid In-N-Out, they are moving to Tennessee?
Oh, the burger, not their corporate headquarters is moving there. You know what? All I say is bye, because I'm so sick of these people like, I'm moving out of California because of taxes and this. And I'm like, so, little rant here. So you use California to make all that those billions and billions of dollars, and then you don't want to pay the taxes because you made the billions and billions of dollars there. So you whine and you cry and you move to Tennessee. So go fuck yourself, lady. I love California, and I'm so sick of people being like, oh, I don't want to live here because it's terrible because of the taxes and the politicians.
Her name is Lindsay Snyder, and she is the granddaughter of the founder of
And she didn't even make it.
Yeah.
She's living off of it.
Now, I think she's kind of stepped back a bit. They're going to close their Irvine location and merge into Baldwin Park.
Even more is that they get on these videos and they're like, they just make it so hard for us billionaires to live.
Yes.
I'm like, go fuck yourself.
Boy, I set Talk Soup up for that one. So I think she kind of stepped back a bit. They are going to still keep their corporate
headquarters. She's a step way back.
And their culture and all their stores in California. But I think as the company expands now,
Tennessee has lots to offer, though. Nashville, Broadway.
Reprojecting is like the eastern,
beautiful.
The eastern half of the United States, because I believe they have a facility.
Get over yourself. If you're going to make all that money off of California and then say, oh, well, I can't handle this.
Did you fucking spike your garage beer? You got hot quick.
I'm serious. Like, do you not get sick and tired of people saying, oh, California? Like, I love California. I love going to California. I love Disneyland. I love the beaches. I don't like Huntington so much because it's kind of wackadoodle.
Okay.
But have you ever camped on the beach? Have you ever
Not in California.
like the ocean's there, the sunset's there? Like people, it's magical. I would move there if I could, but I can't afford it.
From our pod last week, I've not camped on the beach in California, but I've camped on the beach in my mind.
You should try it sometime, man. You know what? There's nothing better than waking up to the waves and coffee on the beach.
Do you like In-N-Out? I mean,
you know what? I had it when I first moved here. I would much rather have Shake Shack or Habit even.
Okay.
They're better burger options as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I don't just go full like Muay Thai fanatical about it, but I mean,
Animal style, yeah, have it once.
You know what I really jones for like once a year from there is their chocolate shake.
Oh, their chocolate shakes are good though.
Yeah, I do like their chocolate. Last little wrap up on bar news and hospitality.
I'm gonna have the In-N-Out police come knocking on my door any minute. They're gonna be like, "Come with us, sir."
Yeah. Today's word is Gestapo, brought to you by the German National Council for Betterment.
Be shoving animal fries down my throat until I'm dead.
Chicken.
Take that. Did you see the guy that owns Raising Cane's? I guess he lives here in town.
I did not know that.
He is he's made $20 billion, and he said that his teacher in high school or college, I don't remember what he said it was a stupid idea.
Yeah.
And he's worth $20 billion now. So don't ever listen to somebody when they tell you your idea is stupid.
It was like Fred Smith, who passed away, who started FedEx last month. You know, he wrote his college business plan basically to what FedEx would become. And his college professor said that was a stupid idea.
Hold on. Let me just check this real quick. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, that's good. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. It's called airline mode.
Airplane mode, yeah.
Yeah, or airplane mode. Which, before we get to that, we'll talk airlines in a minute. Across the waters, our very fun favorite UFC Irishman, Conor McGregor, had his bar in Dublin set on fire Friday morning. The Black Forge.
Really?
Now, the fire brigade got to it relatively quickly, so it was fundamentally unscarred and opened back up for business.
Was there foul play?
It's the second time in 5 or 6 years.
He is generally unliked there. You know, like, I guess.
Yeah, and I don't know if
he's kind of went off like the deep end politically. Like, didn't he say he was going to run for prime minister?
Yeah, PM of Ireland.
Yeah.
And then
that's what you want. Somebody who's got hit in the head for a living, running for political office.
There you go.
That just sounds like a real like winner. That's like bringing the mafia back to Las Vegas.
Well, you know, we know. I guess we can kind of like circle around this. We know that, you know, obviously UFC is very big in this market. And then last weekend,
I think I did put some 151 in here when you weren't looking.
Hot. You know, UFC is very big in this market. Then the last weekend, we'll just very briefly talk about, you know, Manny Pacquiao was at MGM Grand Garden fighting as a 46-year-old Filipino who was kind of like the national face of the Philippines and did have an elected position over there.
Respect for that guy, but come on, he's 46 years old?
Yeah, 46 years old.
Like, just fight what's his face and get over yourself. What's his name? The YouTube star.
Oh, Jake Paul?
Yeah, just fight Jake Paul and then end it, please.
Yeah, he fought Mario Barrios.
And Jake Paul should fight a real boxer. I'm sick of him fighting these 45, 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
Fight a real boxer your age and then shut the fuck up. Excuse me. I think I've dropped how many F-bombs in this episode?
I know.
I'm over it. I'm going
to have to go review the YouTube guidelines. Was this made for children? No. So, airline stuff. You and I
Vegas is 21 and over anyway, right? For the most part.
Airline stuff. You and I still both work there. Did you see TSA changed their policy on you don't have to take your shoes off anymore?
Yeah, that's great.
And then they're also looking at amending the policies on liquids and beverages.
Did you know that? That's great. Did you know that different states have different policies? So some airlines, some states require you to take your shoes off, some didn't. So that was the thing. Like ours did, like Florida didn't, I believe.
Okay.
Some require you to take laptops out of your bag, some don't. Everybody thinks it's a federal thing, but it's actually a state thing.
Gotcha.
So each state's different. But so now they I guess they made it a federal thing where they're all the same now.
Huh.
At least for shoes.
Yeah. Well, so that works out for some because, you know, taking my size 16s off is always a chore, you know.
Yeah.
And I would never use my badging to work around the system. So.
Well, we can't now. We used to be able to go around as employees, but now we're required to go through the same screening if you're on vacation.
Gotcha. And then we just talked offline before we went online. Yesterday, again, Tuesday of this week, I believe there was a power outage at Santa Barbara Airport. So all flights are grounded out of there.
Wow.
And then just so that, I'm in the middle of the Southwest Terminal here at Harry Reid. So that kind of put everybody in a frenzy.
Well, you had a power outage, what, a month ago, 2 months ago,
Yeah.
remember?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Did you see, speaking of fires and power outages, did you see that huge fire on Maryland Parkway?
Yes.
Burned down all that old building. That thing was a tinderbox. When I got to work yesterday, I could see the flames from the parking lot.
Oh, it was.
What bar was there? There was a bar there, right?
I think 8 businesses were ruined or
There was
decimated.
a USPS. I know that.
Yeah. I drove right by there the other day, but as there's new advancement with new buildings for UNLV and new commercial builds out over there, maybe that was just a developer that wanted to advance.
Yeah, you know what I was just thinking of that. The developer they're probably like, yes, I can build an apartment building and businesses and make even more money.
And for all you TikTok commenters about the mafia, do you really want that type of livelihood?
Well, I'm just saying, if you start thinking about, I saw this post from this author that I really like, and he's like, we have written the bad guy as the good guy for so long that we need to just change this, because for the last 40, 50 years, the bad guys are the good guys, and I think the cultural zeitgeist has really taken a hold of that, and we actually now are like, hey, the bad guys are the good guys. And really, they're not. You need to write good guys as good guys. It's not as fun.
Shoe in Tony Soprano, right?
But it was Vince Gilligan.
Oh, yeah.
Gilligan's the guy that wrote that. He said, I've written some of the best bad guys in the world. And if you think about it, how we loved Breaking Bad. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
I did.
So we love that character, but ultimately he's a murderer. And do you love somebody that's a murderer? No. But I think in the zeitgeist of things, I mean, you look at things like where you stand on politics. If you look at the president, some people look at him as a bad guy.
But sitting at home in middle America on a Wednesday night, having nothing else to do but drink your garage beer, it takes things
and watch that or listen to that podcast that we don't know the name.
It takes things to new heights.
Hey! Cheers
boom,
to the
boom,
new heights.
Boom. There we go. And then other,
Let me just step off of my high horse here. Here we go. That's how tall I really am.
But then Southwest yesterday, we were just talking about it, like I said a moment ago, in Burbank. Apparently, one of the planes could not communicate with the tower and avoided a midair collision where one of the planes basically dropped 400 plus feet in seconds. Thus,
you know what? Those guys should be thanking Southwest, because those are roller coaster rides you don't get for free.
That's right. Yeah.
You got to pay for that.
You want to pay for California Adventure Dome or whatever Disney pass he's got this week? No, my friend. For that one-way fare, you can have so much more.
Those planes those engines are built for. They have so much horsepower. You're gonna be fine. They can maneuver. It's just scary because it's not the norm. And thank God that pilot was paying attention, because it could have ended terribly for those 150 people.
I've got to work later tonight. You've got some other plans, but neither one of us are really in the demographic for Beyoncé at Allegiant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see they did the world's largest line dance at Caesar's Palace last night?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they did a line dance to one of her Cowboy Carter songs. I don't know which one it was.
Oh, really? Was she there?
I don't know. I just saw a brief video of a bunch of hot girls doing line dancing in front of Caesar's.
I did also see, speaking of line dancing, as we segue into country for a moment, I did hear also, I was talking to somebody at Town Square the other day, that Stoney's is leaving Town Square also soon to go to, I believe, Sunset Station.
Really?
In autumn. So, again, I don't know, lease agreements, lack of foot traffic. Darren doesn't go to Stoney's, but he goes to see Superman 3 times at Town Square. I don't know, all the above.
I'm a cinephile, not a pedophile. I'm just kidding. I like to see movies in different
context.
No, different presentations. So I like to see movies in IMAX, Dolby Cinema. Sony has a theater. There's 4DX. There's all kinds of different options now. And you probably didn't know that because you don't do theaters as often. So I do like to see a different, and plus I just love movies and I love eating popcorn and I love sitting on my ass. So,
Gotcha. We'll just talk sports for a second.
We do need a good dine-in movie theater, like one where you can order food at the.
Okay.
which would be cool. Kind of like the Alamo Draft House was in Austin. You know, it would be nice to be able to hit a little button and get a beer brought to your
what a
little
concept.
table.
Hospitality.
Yeah.
Preseason for the NFL has started. So with the dawn of another preseason,
Has it started?
Yeah, there's all the hope in the world that the Raiders will once again be good. I mean, they're practicing down at their facility on St. Rose,
Wow.
staying at the M. So
That's another hot spot right
I guess
there.
they abandoned their Southern California dreams of last year, where they took training camp out to California.
Why would they have a practice facility right there?
Keep people out of trouble? I don't know, but I think they probably discovered that it's several $1 million to move a lot of bodies and equipment.
Well, if you have somebody that's that dumb, you need to take them off your team anyway. You want somebody that's focused.
Well, that's
how you win games.
Obviously, that's a front office decision.
Like look at the Seahawks. What was that guy's name? The quarterback. There was Johnny Manziel money, and then there was Ryan or the Seahawks quarterback that won the Super Bowl, Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, okay.
You want somebody like, remember those two came in the league together at the same time, and every time I saw a Twitter post from Manziel Money or Russell Wilson, it was Russell Wilson was doing like church stuff. He was volunteering. He was practicing. And Manziel was like partying in Vegas, drinking, spending money. Who's in the league still?
Yeah, there you go.
You want somebody. So if you were just simply dumb enough to just go out and party, then that's on you. I mean, granted, there was that one Raider that got in that terrible car accident, which cost somebody their life. But
yeah.
That's terrible.
Relatively new in the Raiders' existence in Las Vegas, also. Henry Ruggs is his name.
Was that the guy that
he is on house arrest currently, I believe, as he awaits trial.
Man, and he murdered that poor girl. Like,
yeah.
I was just driving by there the other day, and there was like a bag of flowers
and dog,
yeah.
And then also, before we get ready for running up to a new season for the Golden Knights, a new collective bargaining agreement was achieved in the NHL for all the players. So as we go forward in Vegas Knights folklore, it'll be a shorter preseason, just a couple talking points, get this thing, keep it rolling. A longer regular season by 2 games, and then the players will no longer be required to have a dress code before and after games. So as you've seen, most of them suited and booted, as a British phrase, I would say, with nice bespoke suits and shoes and everything. Yeah. We might see the NFL or NBAization into the NHL, and in fact,
the fashion trend. The fashion thing.
And in fact, Wild Bill might show up in a Viking costume.
Okay,
who knows?
Yeah, whatever. Who
knows?
Did we get to? Moving on.
No, that's it. So I mean, just
back to the Raiders real quick. Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, quarterback, yep. Right? And then who's the new running back?
Rookie from Boise State, Austin Genty. And then you still have Brock Bowers as tight end, and then obviously you have Mad Max over on the defensive end. They got a very nice, sweet 3-year deal. I forget the exact number, but he's not struggling.
Pete Carroll once, and he's so charismatic and such a nice guy. And I hope he does well. Even though it's the Raiders.
I think he'll motivate. I mean, obviously the whole of the NFL is tough. The AFC West is very tough.
I mean, he's the oldest coach in the NFL, and he's out there running lines with the players.
Yeah.
The guy's driven. I mean, like I said, you want somebody that's motivated.
23-year-olds keep you young.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's segue into a bunch of unfortunate deaths this week. We had some rock stars. I think we led off the week with Ozzy Osbourne.
Say, Mama, I'm coming home. He went home, all right.
Yeah.
I saw Ozzy Osbourne. I saw Metallica open for Ozzy Osbourne at Masters of Puppets in 1986, I want to say.
Okay.
At the Key Arena in Seattle. I snuck out. I told my mom I was going to the movies. She allowed me to go to the Federal Way, but I didn't tell her I was going to Seattle. Took the bus downtown. Me and a couple friends of mine went and got stoned at 15 years old and watched Metallica open for Ozzy Osbourne. I couldn't have cared less about Ozzy Osbourne, but Metallica was amazing.
I read something that when I can't think of his name right now. So Lemmy passed away, that he had his ashes, he was cremated, had his ashes put into bullet casings.
Fed to bats.
Yeah. And then James Hetfield from Metallica received one of those bullets. Well, he had it stirred up into tattoo ink, and he had an Ace of Spades tattoo fingered on one of his fingers as an homage.
So he took the ash from the ink? or the ash, and had it spun
mar-
into the ink.
married into the ink, and then put
Wow.
it into his finger.
Wow.
So people jokingly said about Ozzy, he's like, well, if he gets something like that from Ozzy, what's he going to do? Snort it? You know? So
I guarantee you there's somebody out there that would snort Ozzy Osbourne's ashes.
right. So we had Ozzy Osbourne. We had Hulk Hogan just a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So who was the face of the WWF?
Terry, what was his real name? Terry
Bollea.
Bollea.
Yeah.
You know that guy had. I don't care about him. I never liked him, but he had such an incredible career, though. And he was a superstar. I'm not gonna poo-poo him. He that whole character he created, like where he, you had all these wrestlers like doing this crazy shit, like all this acrobatic shit, and all he did was like, and then and ripped his shirt off, and and he just basic wrestling moves,
But I was equating this to like again. I saw Adam at McMullen's yesterday, seeing Steve real quick.
He had all his power from the crowd. He was like he'd taking a beating, and next thing you know, he was like, hey, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I am not a WWF or E person, but Adam was speaking about it quite passionately, and I, of course, put it in my pea brain mind and say, NBA wise, I mean, there was wrestlers obviously before Hulk Hogan in the '80s, right? There's previous iterations, but it was more regional. The NBA existed before the '80s, but it was like what really juggernauted the NBA was Magic and Bird, right?
Yep.
And then that opened the segue for Jordan. Whereas before that, I'm sure there was The Rock's dad, who was a little known wrestler before Hulk Hogan and stuff like that. But then these just bigger characters come along in the '80s, and then money comes in, just like it did in the NBA, and then more people are made aware of it. And he was one of the first that just really juggernauted.
Yeah, he really changed it.
Juggernauted the brand.
I liked his appearances more in Rocky Classic.
Okay.
When he fought Rocky. Remember Rocky 3? Was it Rocky 3?
I forget which one, but yeah, I mean, I know he was in one of the Rocks.
Yeah.
Because you had Mr. T in one. You obviously had
Dolph Lundgren.
Who else? A couple other characters.
Carl Weathers.
You had in one of the 4 or 5. You had Tommy Morrison, who was a Kansas City guy. Who was actually a good heavyweight wrestler. So that's 2 of 5. Then lesser known but still talented, yacht rock folklore Chuck Mangione.
Okay.
Feels so good, like trumpet player. Just you can't listen to a yacht rock station and not hear that song.
Did he do that song Seattle or whatever it was?
It was Feel So Good. If I played
Puget or whatever it was.
I don't know if he did that one, but he died at 84, and then I just saw that Rick Derringer passed away. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
Jesus.
And then from again 80s child folklore, Malcolm Jamal Warner drowns in Costa Rica at 54.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
When I said to your wife, wonder if you knew that he did all that, and your wife was like, he didn't do nothing about Bill Cosby, and I was like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah. Well,
talk about controversial. I was like, what?
Well, I mean, and then I guess the episode that she remembered, and I'll have to go back and rewatch it because it's been a minute since I've watched Cosby. But here's a shout out to Gordon Gentro, which was apparently a shirt to his character Theo bought.
Oh, yeah.
And Cliff had to question him about how you're buying a $94 shirt and not having a job.
Do you have a story like that? With your parents gave you money and you went out and did something stupid?
My grandfather. So,
did you?
I have a couple of Abercrombie shirts that were questionable.
I had bought, my mom had given me money, and I went and bought an Indiana Jones jacket. That was like my whole school budget.
Gotcha.
It was terrible.
Let's finish up this segment before we talk some TV talk to wrap up this episode 27, Sip, Socialize, Shine, or maybe Sip, Socialize, Be Interesting. Passed along to you from the Weekly this week, an article, the title on the cover, Evolving Las Vegas. Just let's talk some numbers real quick. I'll read them off to you because I didn't memorize them or put them in my talking app.
Okay.
The average age of a gambler in 2024 was 43.6 years old, down from 46.2 in 19 and 47.2 in 1991. Millennials made up 46% of total visitors. Gen X 38%, Gen Z and retirees about 7% each.
Wow.
Yeah. As we've talked about in episodes, what used to be a value escape has become more of a luxury offering.
It's kind of, you see that the reasoning being like sports. So you have all these people, the Gen Xers that have more money now, so sports. And that goes along with Vegas evolving and these big acts. Because remember back when we moved here, there was never like Beyonce. It was always like, you know, you'd be lucky if you two played at the Silver Bowl, you know? and that was like an event.
Right.
Now we have these A-list acts that's every weekend, sometimes multiple.
Yeah, it's not just one show, it's a residency. I think I just read that Def Leppard's coming back this winter.
How long before Metallica gets the residency? You know, I don't think it's too far off.
Maybe after he snorts Ozzy.
Who would you put at snorting Ozzy? Who would your money be on?
Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee? No,
Yeah.
I think he's too old now. I'm trying to think. I don't even know.
All these young rock stars just want to vape them, you know? Continued.
You can't vape ash because everything's been sucked out of it.
I mean, the things that they've done with dispensaries and how you can consume cannabis now, I wouldn't put anything past them.
Yeah.
Gen Z being tried a bit with a lot of financial pressure, student debt, economic headwinds appear to be tapering off a bit. Millennials spend on average $767 a visit in Vegas. On gaming, Gen Z spend about $200 less than that, and 45 to 60-year-olds spend around $875 on gaming in Las Vegas. So you can see the gaming numbers, as we've talked about.
It goes back to what I was saying. You know, they have they're so specific in the numbers, they have it down to the pennies.
Yeah.
They know.
And then as we go forward, more of the younger visitors are creating unique experiences, especially in restaurants with offerings like customizable chopsticks. I mean, that was just one of the things that the article offered. Yeah, I've seen it in some of the fine dining establishments in real time. I mean, it's not that hard to do these days.
Well, you know what's crazy? I remember years ago, I'd said, hey, you know what? We should start a company. I don't think it was you. Start a company that has a 3D printing farm where you could custom 3D print party table favors and
you have said that to me.
Laser engrave, utensils and make everything customizable.
Yeah.
And look, they're doing it.
Yeah,
So,
you have said that to me, and again, not a bad idea. It seems to be about making sure there's still a good value story in Las Vegas. So the messaging being that you see in social influencers or items is the top list, the top 10 free things to do in Las Vegas, the top 10 things to do in Vegas for under $100 to kind of get that value-based proposition of how you consume it. It's not necessarily a traditional billboard or a mailer or maybe even email. It's just some TikTok influencer doing a video.
I think I'm coming down. I think I'm coming down a little bit now. I think I'm down on the level. Okay.
Thank God.
Man, don't get me started again like that, Chris.
Okay. Let's wrap up this middle segment, which will be the longest segment as it usually is. And we're going to come back and talk the latest episode of Cheers and a little Ted Lasso, and we'll wrap up episode 27.
Sounds good. Let's do this.
Every time I go to Las Vegas, I must raise one for Old Österreich at the Hofbrauhaus, Las Vegas. I once met a bartender named Chris, a tall, affable fellow that had hopes of one day starting his own brand. I can now say that I recently spoke with him and his partner in this adventure, and they are bootstrapping an idea called Vegas Day Drinkers Club. Its purpose is to celebrate the bon vivant nature of the city. Their motto is sip, socialize, and shine. And I must say, it makes me want to get down.
All right, segment 3, we're back. Quick
little TV talk.
Quick urinal break. So we're
We'll
gonna
talk soup prior to this, but whatever.
Yeah. Cheers, season 1, episode 19. Pick a con, any con. I'm going to read you just a quick overview.
Sure.
Sam becomes the target of an elaborate con game orchestrated by Harry the Hat Gittes, which is the return of Harry Anderson, a smooth-talking grifter who frequents Cheers. Harry sets up an intricate scam involving a fake poker game and convinces Sam that he can make easy money by participating in what appears to be a sure thing. Despite warnings from the bar regulars, particularly Diane, who tries to explain the psychology behind confidence games, Sam's ego and greed get the better of him. Continued, the con unfolds as Harry manipulates Sam into believing he's the one running the scam, when in reality, Sam is the mark all along. By the episode's end, Sam loses a significant amount of the money and learns a hard lesson about trusting strangers with get-rich-quick schemes. The episode showcases the show's ability to blend comedy with character development, as Sam's cockiness and desire for easy money leads to his downfall, while also introducing Harry the Hat as a memorable recurring character who would return in future episodes.
Not bad.
I quite enjoyed the episode.
It was nice.
Because it has that whole, however many hundreds of movies we've seen about the Vegas confidence games, pokers, taking down the house, breaking the rules.
Breaking the rules, the long con.
I think Sam fronted Harry $5,000 to get this money back from this gentleman that was manipulating Coach, right?
From Boston, or was he from Chicago? Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. So
Chicago Joe.
yeah.
I love the fact that obviously Diane, like the never do well, like she's always got to be the voice of reason.
Sure. Yeah.
And then ultimately Coach at the end of the day saving the day, which I thought was phenomenal.
Right.
Because Coach is just a lovable idiot, and you think, okay, he doesn't know what he's doing, but like Papa Smurf said in the movie that just came out recently, he said, "Don't mistake my kindness for weakness." And Coach laid it down.
I like how at the beginning of the episode that Harry the Hat sets up Cliffy with I can do this shot without lifting the hat or whatever. So a little bar trick, and that kind of made me think about when I first started bartending. That I think there was this woman out there who was a bartender, and if she's not still a bartender, she's probably got to be up there and possibly retired now. Her name was Cheryl Charming, and so she would just do all these like little hacky bar tricks. But when you're sitting in a bar in 49 other states,
it's funny. I don't have a bar trick. Do you have one?
I mean, I could probably pull one out that I've used to do.
I used to have this guy that used to do this bar trick where he would take the bottle, he would open it, and then he would swing it up over his shoulder and swing it around, and like do that like 3 or 4 times and not spill it. And then
I used to do a couple of different ones with shot glasses and having like liquid within them and seeing if you could like drink it without touching the glass.
I just my gift is gab, I guess.
Yeah,
I can gab talk soup.
So, I probably think
some people would say it's not a gift.
Just
saying.
Maybe he put 151 back in that beer.
Yeah.
I probably think as of up until this point, I think that might be my favorite episode of season 1. And again, I'm the undertones of like the schemy stuff that we've probably seen all along, or the allure of all these films that we've watched that are kind of like, again, the confidence game, or these capers, or these things that are happening.
It's kind of funny because there's that movie coming out with Woody Harrelson. Part 3 is coming out, where they're all magicians.
Yeah. Okay.
What's it called?
I knew you were going to. I forget, but
which is funny because he was in Cheers, and so he's in this movie where they pull these long cons.
Yes.
So it was not a Woody
Coach. Wasn't Morgan Freeman, Jesse Eisenberg? I mean, I can picture exactly.
Jesse Eisenberg, Isla Fisher, Woody Harrelson, and it was James Franco.
Okay, I mean, I know the movie you're talking. I just can't think of it. Again, if you're watching or listening or subscribing, tell us.
Or if you're Travis Kelce, maybe buzz us in.
If we once took it to new heights in this episode, we've dropped it back down a level.
So I love the episode. My favorite character is still Coach. I do love the Diane Sam moments, like at the very end when he's like, "Hey, let's play a game," and she's like, "Well, what's the prize?" And he's like, "If I win, I get to sleep with you." And she's like, "Well, what do I win?" And he says, "You get to sleep with me." And she's like, "I'll pass." And he's like, "What do you say? What do you say?" Oh, he's like, "Oh, you're gonna make me work for it," or something like that.
Yeah. Ever more encroaching upon what we all know will happen.
Sexual harassment in HR.
Yeah, I think about that sometimes.
Can you imagine nowadays that'd be like, let's go to HR and talk about this? Well, as we know, with Coldplay, what happens with HR and CEOs, right?
Jesus, yeah. Should we make this week's bumper video like me behind you?
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up.
We're going to talk about your show.
Yeah, friends of the program. Ted Lasso season 4 big reveal started filming in Kansas City this past Monday.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Again, working premises. Ted is in Kansas City and he's wearing a current sweatshirt. Which is the NWSL professional women's soccer team there, who have the first dedicated women's stadium in the country for that sport specifically.
That's fantastic.
It's not co-shared. It's not something else that's used for other events. It's specifically designed and built for them.
That's cool.
Which happened to put Kansas City in the running to be a World Cup host next year. So they will. Arrowhead.
You think they did that to get a World Cup game?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or like at least to went into the batter of the recipe.
So can I just ask you, I know this is kind of off TV talk, but do you think that's a good idea to make a stadium specifically just for one sport? I mean, or do you think they should be financially? So financially, if you are going to make it using taxpayer money, should it be multi-use? Now, if it's privately funded, yeah, go right ahead. What would be your thoughts be on that?
I mean, I don't know. Now, this is rudimentarily, it's a basic stadium. So it's not a $2.3 billion football stadium. You know, I would imagine
it was probably privately funded,
a couple $100 million, which is still a lot of money. But again, here comes ego again, right? Because you have these marketing teams and this and that. And the verbiage that I just said, and then it's like, you know, other girls' teams can come into that stadium and they can market it when it's not the season, right? Or have event space. It's like, hey, this is the first of its kind. You know, even it's not like they reinvented the atom here, but you know, they now have that moniker, right?
I think it's fantastic just to know that he's taking the season and he's doing something that I think is worthy.
So
you know,
I've heard a couple working concepts of what way it might go. They're filming in Kansas City for 10 days. Ted Lasso is, and then they take it back to London. Now, on set, you've already seen Juno, you've already seen Hannah Waddingham, you've already seen Higgins, who's Jeremy. I can't think of his last name. And then Brendan Hunt behind the scenes, and obviously Jason Sudeikis.
Well, they released the first video of them sitting at a diner
at Gates Barbecue.
Gates Barbecue
on Main, I believe, Main or Broadway.
I should have went to the source. I knew you'd know.
Yeah. So, and then obviously
Have you been sitting in that booth?
Yeah. So I'm sitting. Yeah, I'm video editing this and that this weekend. And then they popped on stage Thursday night at whatever corporate sponsor it is now. As a child, I remember it as Sandstone, but Mumford & Sons played Sandstone and Western Wyandotte Thursday night, and then the cast of Ted Lasso popped on and did the theme song with them. So.
Did you see the TikTok that he put out with the singer of Mumford & Sons?
Who put out?
Mumford & Sons.
Oh, I did not know.
It was Sudeikis and Mumford & Sons. I'll show you after.
Okay. All right. So
more Ted Lasso talk coming, more Cheers talk coming.
Yeah, a fervor for sure in Kansas City. So the whole town was hyped. You just obviously my social media feeds has a lot of Kansas City stuff, so it was omnipresent. But we might try and do a quick one Wednesday before DB blast off to the Midwest to Peyton Manning land. And if we don't, it might be a little bit before we're back. But we appreciate everybody contributing.
Yes,
liking, listening, posting pics in the group.
Yes, engagement is key. We love to engage with you. We love to see what you're doing.
I know that somebody did ask when we are going to do our first official hosting party. I'm thinking around Oktoberfest time because that's usually my time to shine.
Yeah.
So let's see what we can put together.
We'll probably do it. What do you think? At one of the local breweries or something like that?
I would imagine.
Host us?
Yeah. So we're communicating with a couple of the brewers. So it's kind of become, a gauntlet of what flavor profile we like the most.
We will make sure to give plenty of notice. That way you can but do travel plans or whatever, Las Vegas locals. We'll see what happens. Anyway.
I mean, Darren and Lederhosen and me and a Dirndl. What more do you want?
I mean, maybe we get one of those fun wheel spinning things where they try to lasso you in Germany. What are those things called? And get the girls to spin off of them.
Oh yeah. Or we can do not the gondola. We'll figure it out.
We'll take it to new heights next.
So from now until Oktoberfest, if you're not watching or watching, just watch European Vacation at least 3 times and mimic the Schuhplattern. Sip, socialize, shine.
Cheers.
And Ted Lasso.
That's right.